Initiating a project. Project initiation sets the foundation for the entire project and sets the stage for how the project will be executed. During project initiation, a number of important tasks are completed to ensure that the project is set up for success. The first step of project initiation is to define the goals and objectives of the project. This involves clearly defining what the project is expected to deliver, including its purpose, scope, and timeline. It is also important to create a budget for the project and determine who will be responsible for each of the tasks. The next step of project initiation is to determine the resources needed for the project. This includes both human resources, employees or contractors, and material resources, such as equipment, software, or materials. It is important to ensure that all necessary resources are available before starting work on a project. Once these steps are complete, it is important to develop a plan for managing the project. This should include an outline of how tasks will be organized, who will be responsible for each task, how resources will be allocated, and how progress will be tracked. This plan should also include strategies for addressing potential risks or challenges. Finally, project initiation includes forming the team that will be responsible for executing the project. This includes assigning roles and responsibilities and ensuring that each member of the team has a clear understanding of their role. Communication is key throughout this process to ensure that everyone is on the same page and working towards a common goal. Project initiation is a crucial part of any successful project management process and sets the tone for how the entire project will be executed. By completing these steps thoroughly, you can help ensure that your project is set up for success from the start. One of the key questions before starting a project is, why are we doing this? A project is a separate activity from day-to-day business. Your project team members are more than likely going to be working on your project, as well as some other business as usual activities, as that's probably their primary role. Projects, however, are very important. All organizations should have a vision and a strategy for their company. If the company is willing to approve your project, it means that it is beneficial to shaping the business model going forward. That's why the project has been approved, because it's aligned to the overall business vision and strategy. Projects are temporary. They must have a start and an end. There must be a problem that needs to be resolved, hence the reason for going forward with the project, or an opportunity that can be realized as a result of delivering this project. Here are 4 goals of every business project. There must be a benefit for the business. This could be in the form of an increase in business revenue, a decrease in business overheads, or meeting a compliance requirement, such as a law or a regulation. Here's another key question. Why does a project need to be managed? In summary, to achieve the goal of the project manager utilizes tried and tested methodologies and approaches to ensure there is stability to the actions. The project manager ensures that the actions are tracked and complete. The project manager is responsible for the planning and coordination of the project activities. He or she acts as the central person to pull off these activities and to pull everything together. The project manager acts on behalf of the business. The project manager has been appointed by the business to ensure delivery of their business initiative. When taking any project management course, it's essential to define the project charter. The project charter sets the goal and vision of the project, along with the objectives and scope. It also provides clarity on roles and responsibilities of the team. When defining the project charter, here are a few things to consider. Goals. What is the end goal of the project? Are there specific results that need to be achieved? Scope. What is the scope of the project? This is the clear deliverables of the project, and anything not stated is deemed out of scope. Roles and responsibilities. Who will be involved in a project? What responsibilities will they have? Timeline. When will this project begin and end? Budget. How much funding is allocated to this project? Approvals. What process do you need to go through in order to get approvals? Communication plan. How will the project team communicate with one another throughout the project? The charter is an official project document. It authorizes the project to exist. It also authorizes the project manager to move forward. This is the green light for the project manager. The charter needs to be signed by the right level of authority. This could either be the project sponsor internally, or externally it could be the customer with a contract. The project charter is a document that outlines the scope and objectives of the project. It's an essential first step in any project management plan. In essence, the project charter outlines the who, what, when, where, why, and how of the project. It provides a roadmap for the project and is an essential element for successful completion of the project. The project charter can be developed by the project manager or lead and should include the purpose and goals of the project, as well as stakeholders, resources needed, and a timeline. Additionally, it should identify potential risks or issues and provide a budget. The purpose of the project charter is set the project up for success by providing clear direction and expectations for all parties involved. By creating a project charter at the outset, everyone involved in a project can remain focused on the same objectives and have a shared vision for success. The project charter also serves to increase communication and collaboration between teams, which can help to ensure that all deliverables are met on time and within budget. Overall, developing a project charter is one of the most important steps in project management and is a critical component for setting up a successful project. It serves to outline the scope and objectives of the project and provides a roadmap for successful completion. Project stakeholders are the individuals or groups who are involved in a project and whose interests, attitudes, and actions influence its outcome. Stakeholders can be internal to the organization, employees, managers, executives, or external, suppliers, customers, or other organizations. The key to successfully managing stakeholders is understanding their motivations. This helps project managers identify how the most effective way to communicate with them is, the best way to collaborate with them, and how to manage their expectations throughout the life of the project. A stakeholder is anyone who has an interest in a project. This could be the customer, the end user, decision makers, or any other party that is affected by the outcome of the project. There are different types of stakeholders. Positive stakeholders, somebody that has a real interest in your project and wants it to succeed. They are likely to be willing to help. Negative stakeholders. You will encounter negative stakeholders. That's reality. These are the people who don't believe in the project for various reasons. For example, there could be technical reasons as to why they don't think that is viable. Or they may be at risk as a result of this project being delivered. Neutral stakeholders. They are impartial. They aren't strongly for the project or against it. Stakeholder management is engagement. Keeping stakeholders involved will protect your project. Good stakeholder management builds confidence in a project. It builds confidence in your ability as a project manager. Stakeholders all have their own priorities and things that they would like considered. Effective engagement with stakeholders will promote involvement and synergy across the stakeholder list. A key artifact for structuring your stakeholder management approach is a stakeholder map. Firstly, you will pull a list together of all stakeholders. You'll place them on a map based on their influence and interest. This will provide you with an idea of the approach to communication that you need to take. For example, the project sponsor would have high influence and high interest, meaning they should be managed closely. There are a number of different ways to engage stakeholders. The key to this is communication. Your interpersonal skills are key here. You will benefit from building strong relationships and trust with key stakeholders. It's important to keep an eye on any conflicts and resistance to the project and respond appropriately. The ability to negotiate and facilitate meetings and conversations to find resolutions will go a long way.